Welcome in to episode 66 live. Ramie and Drew. I'm Ramie Mackloff. That's Drew Flaggy. We're a couple of Milwaukee comedians. We talk about sports and whatever other bullshit might come to mind. Drew, been a minute. How are you, sir? How are things over there in the Flaggy residence?
It's up and down. I have a love-hate relationship with NBA 2K right now.
Okay. This is NBA 2K. What is it?
25.
25?
Yeah.
That's
It
out?
goes a year. Yeah.
I feel like they put it out early. I just said this to you before I said I feel like they put it out early. I was just saying this before we turned the mics on.
No, it comes out like around the same time every year. I usually wait like last year. Like
football season just started.
Yeah. Well, Madden comes out like a month and a half before the season starts too. And then they have like their have the training camp. Like every game does it. They have like their training camp update where it's like the finalized roster as of day one. So like I'm playing my franchise mode right now because I couldn't figure out the shot meter. So like I'm just playing right now on Pro, which is like I'm
not a gamer. I'm not a gamer, but if I was, I feel like I'd be knee deep in some Madden right now, or maybe some because they just brought back what's the college football game. I was never into it, but I know it's very popular. I feel like NBA 2K. I feel like they're jumping the gun coming out this early.
No, but okay. I don't think so. I mean, they've always come out this early, so it's fine. And with online, how there's constant like progressing like roster updates. So like a cool thing that's going to happen is like when the teams get all their city jerseys, like even if you started your franchise mode and everything's kind of locked in with the roster.
I hate the Bucks city jerseys this year.
But they're going to get
the Bulls. I hate the Bulls too. Well, they supposedly leaked. We'll see if they're real or not. Here, let me see if I can find it for you.
Well, last year the leaks were
not true. Real. Yeah, I know. They were true? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find it. Go ahead. Keep talking.
No, I didn't see them, but no, that'll all get added.
No, you were saying something about the city jerseys in the game.
Yeah, it'll just get added into the game, even if you started your franchise mode and stuff. But I'm going to restart when the season actually starts, just so I can play against rosters that actually are real. But I'm playing right now, just trying to figure out the game because
here they are right here.
You want to see video games my entire damn life, and like this NBA 2K game is by far the most difficult to figure out the shot meter. It seems like the animations are not. Oh,
okay, see that? Yeah, those are hideous.
Oh, those look like the Colorado Rockies.
Yeah, those are not good.
Like we all wanted purple back, but like, ugh, those look like the Kings or like the Rockies or like.
You want to see something worse?
Like, those look so similar to the Jazz's like alternate jerseys from last year, where it has like it's
look
just
at
like
these.
Forgot to put the mountain on it.
That looks nothing like a Bulls jersey. Look at that bullshit. Yeah,
that looks like the Nets jersey that just said BKYN on it. Like
I hate it. I hate it so much.
Yeah. I mean, the Bucks jerseys last year were fine. I bought one when it was on sale for 50% off.
I don't like the blue. Blue is not their color. They're not. I understand, I understand the city edition jerseys. They get a little creative with them, but dude, blue is not one of the Bucks. It's not even one of their colors. It's not even in their. I mean, I don't like it at all.
I'm a big fan of the color red, and I didn't even like when the Bucks had red alternate jerseys, but I do own one. I own a John
Red. 3 weeks till training camp, by the way. I don't know if you knew that or not. 3 weeks till training camp.
Yeah, I did. I've been keeping track.
I figured you would. All right, where do you want to start as far as sports that are being played like now, right now? You want to start with the Brewers, who could have clinched the division tonight, or the Packers and my Bears, who both sit at 1-1? I'll let you pick.
Well, yeah, so we should probably talk about football because probably most of the people now care about football.
Yeah, that's what most people care about now. But the Brewers are still in it. Like I understand if they're
still in it, they ran away.
That's what I'm saying. Like they're still relevant. It's not like you're a Cubs fan like I am, and maybe a few other people watching or listening right now. And we thank you, by the way, if you're watching live on Facebook and YouTube. We still can't stream live on Twitter if we're not verified. which is stupid. But tell your friends and tell them to like, rate, review over at YouTube, Spotify, and Apple. But yeah, I mean the Brewers are in first place, dude. Brewers fans are not. They're not putting them on the back burner, are they?
No, I don't think so. A lot of there's a lot of hype, and you would think that everybody got pretty upset and discouraged with how this team was going to perform when Christian Yelich went down with a season-ending injury. But dude, Jackson Chourio is unreal.
He really is, dude.
He's so good. It's crazy.
He's doing some crazy things for a guy his age. You know what? We're starting with the Brewers and with baseball. We'll talk football in just a second. Stick around.
All right, yeah, I guess. No, dude, Chourio, dude, like that's. I have an unrealistic hatred of Paul Skeens right now because Chourio won't win Rookie of the Year. Like I hate Paul Skeens.
That's fair.
Like
That's fair. I think Paul Skeens would understand.
He's having one of the most like unbelievable pitching seasons of all time. Like, what is he like? He has like the third lowest ERA of all time, and it's not even for like a 20-year-old. Like, it's for like an entire season.
Yeah,
he's at like 207. That's after he gave up 4 runs yesterday or something like that.
I feel like every time I go on Twitter, though, I'm seeing Jackson Chourio is the youngest player to do this. He's the first player to do this before this age. Like they got something there, man.
I think. Well, it's just crazy because it's like he's playing. I mean, they've been out in front for so long, but like you lose your basically MVP. You know, arguably, probably Willy Adames would be the team's MVP.
Dude, they still lead the league in run differential. At least they did coming into tonight. I don't know if it changed tonight, but they lead the league in run differential.
Did you see the Brewers lead? Like they're second in the league in like defensive run scores, and they're like first or second in the league in something else, like on the offensive side. And like the teams that are are in first place for both of those things. Like one of them, I think it was either like the Guardians or it was the Royals or something like that were like on the offensive side. Like I don't know if it was like manufactured runs scored or something like that. But like their defenses are both like dog shit. And then like the Diamondbacks have like the best defense in the league, but their like offense isn't exactly where like they're like middle of the pack. The Brewers are like the only team that are like that good at both sides of the ball. And it's like not even close with everybody else. Like you're either really good offensively or defensively, but the Brewers are like just insane. So yeah, I'm actually encouraged. Like
No, dude, they're a really good baseball team. We'll see if it translates in October, but they are a really good baseball team. I don't think there's any doubting that at this point. Like early in the season, you could go, hey, maybe they're lucky or they're riding some kind of wave or something, or they're just hot. But man, we're like 2 weeks away from the end of the regular season, and like I said, they lead the league in run differential. I think they have one of the biggest, if not the biggest, division lead in all of baseball. I mean. They're just running away with it, and in almost any statistical category that you want to look, right there with anybody. We'll see if the lack of star power, especially in the starting rotation, comes back to bite them in the postseason. But I mean, right now, I don't think that you can say anybody is a mismatch or would overpower the Brewers right now or just be a flat out better baseball team. I don't care who it is. I care who. I know the Phillies have more wins, the Dodgers have more wins, but
I think the Dodgers.
The Brewers are right there with anyone.
I think the Dodgers are the team that is honestly going to be the thorn in our side because just the amount of money on that roster and like what all those guys can do. I mean, what Ohtani just hit his 48th home run again tonight. He's going to have a 50-50 season. Like, yeah. Ohtani's crazy. You know, the Dodgers, their lineup is healthy right now. They're going to be a problem in the postseason. Like, I like what we've been getting lately out of like Savale, and Frankie Montas wasn't bad tonight either. Like, getting serviceable starts. We didn't score any runs tonight, so we scored 1. Like, that's fine. But other than that, like I'm more worried about our bullpen going forward because of how much they were used early in the season, and these last 2 weeks could be an issue. Like we I don't know if you like when I was texting you that we jumped out to like a 12-0 lead on Saturday, and then the Diamondbacks
scored 8 unanswered
runs, and then it turned into a game again. Like that sucked. And then all of our guys were just completely out of gas on Sunday. And then we blew that game too. And it was like, oh, like, so last night, Colin Ray, he pitched the last 3 innings of the game. And I was like, whoa, that's kind of not what I wanted to see. But also, he got shelled the last time out. But
it's not the first. I mean, the Brewers might have to get creative with the pitching staff come the postseason, and it wouldn't be the first time. Q comments. Let me see. It won't go up there for some. There it is. Will the Brewers win a playoff series? I don't know, Q. You think so? Are you ready? Are you, I don't know, man. I have a hard time saying yes with like you just did, like no hesitation, like no doubt. Yes, they will. Baseball is weird, dude. Baseball is they very well could. That's really the best I can give you. They very well could. I wouldn't rule them out of any playoff series.
What I've been saying all year long, though, like, back around like the All-Star break when you were talking about how we didn't really go through a big slump or anything like that, and the slumps could.
But then they did.
They did. They had a couple. They had a series of bad games, and they lost 3 series in a row or something like that, and that's fine. Like that happens. But they didn't look bad doing it. Like they just lost some games. The Brewers, the main thing that I hated about them last year was how much they swung and missed at the ball, like all the strikeouts everywhere, and just everybody on that roster, like they don't really strike out outside of like Rhys Hoskins, but he's got like 24 home runs, so fine, strike out, I don't care. It's like the biggest thing is like Willy Adames, he doesn't strike out anymore, like he's not striking out 250 times in a season. He puts the bat on the ball, he's super clutch, Then you got guys like Bryce Terang and Joey Ortiz, like those guys, they just smack the ball all over the place. Garrett Mitchell had right? I like Garrett Mitchell being back and healthy. That's good.
Yeah, dude, it's a pretty complete roster and a lineup that has good makeup, and I like what I've seen from Pat Murphy in his first year as a manager. You're right about the bullpen, and you had to expect at some point that it would catch up to him, and that might be the thing that comes back to bite him or cost him a playoff series at some point down the road. But man, it's a 162 game season, and you're gonna ride certain parts of your team. Sometimes it's gonna be the starting rotation. Sometimes it's gonna be your bullpen. Sometimes you just can't sit your everyday players, and those guys get grinded out and get tired or get little nagging injuries that they can't shake in the postseason. You just kind of have to pick your poison as far as when and who you're gonna ride.
And somehow Willy Adames and William Contreras are both gonna play the entire season. That's nuts. Every game.
Yeah.
Every game.
They got to pay Adames, dude.
They got to resign.
They got to pay Willy Adames.
Remember last
year? They got to take care of that pretty soon.
When I was saying, I biggest 180 in all of sports is me just being completely on the Willy Adames bandwagon now. I was wrong,
though.
I'll tell you, I was wrong.
How pissed off are Brewers fans going to be if they don't?
Oh, I think we're going to be real pissed. I mean, but like the other thing too is like every time that we let a guy walk like that, and someone just kind of steps up on the cheap, it makes fucking Mark look like a genius.
That's the thing. At some point, do you stop bitching? Do you stop bitching about superstars leaving Milwaukee if they just keep on winning regardless and getting to the playoffs?
I think it was worse when we didn't have a constant culture of like winning. I think that hurt a lot more when guys like Prince Fielder would leave or Sabathia would leave or something like that. But now but like also like Willy Adames is like kind of the culture on that team. He's kind of everybody's biggest cheerleader.
Yeah, I feel like he's the heartbeat of that team.
Yeah.
And not just with the bat, like you said, from a personality, culture, style. I feel like his standpoint. I feel like he's the heartbeat of that team.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think that they can let him walk away, because also like when you hear about what like Jackson Chourio said when he went through his May slump is that like Contreras and like Willy Adames were there to talk him through it and stuff, and it's like, so he cares about the guys that are coming up. You know, he's like a young enough dude that like he can relate to them. And I don't know, like he seems like he's humble. And I mean, he's always seemed like a humble guy, but he seems humble enough to like be able to like actually take time to work with the younger guys and stuff and keep their heads up and everything. And it helps when you're also hitting 30 home runs in a season. So I don't think they can let him walk. I mean, that would be absurd to do that. I think it's not. I think it was just, I don't know.
I could see it happening. I think it would be nuts too, but I 100% could see it happening. By the way, Q, not the most positive of people in the comments. This is, I don't give a fuck about regular season success in Major League Baseball. You can get drunk in a parking lot, win or lose. Give me a series win or Marquez baseball's Herb Cole without the generosity. Followed that up with Willie Adames as a Giant next year.
I also agree with both of those things that Q said. I mean,
damn, listen, you got him in a Giants uniform already, huh? Okay.
Well, I'm not gonna go hard in and be like, oh, the Dodgers are gonna pay Willie Adames. Like, I mean, that's the joke that we have with like AJ is that like, you know, it's gonna really suck when Willie Adames is a Dodger next year. I don't think that's gonna happen, but I do think like a team in like the NL West is gonna swoop them. Whether it's like the Diamondbacks, because the Diamondbacks always make like a weird move like that, like signing Zach Greinke or something like that. They've done those past, so I can see a team like the Diamondbacks or the Giants absolutely swooping in and getting Willie Adames, like just throwing just a boatload of money at him. I could see it.
Yeah, I could see that.
I've always I'm always side eyeing the NL West, being like,
I could see if not for all the money they gave to Dansby Swanson, I could see the Cubs going after him, but I don't think they're gonna put more money at shortstop or try and put one of those two guys at a different position. I have heard, because of the Craig Counsell connection, that both didn't Hader sign an extension, did he not? Or is he a free agent at the end of this year? I was hearing Hader, but Hader and Burns both targets for the Cubs this offseason with the Craig Counsell connection.
I think Baltimore's going to throw a ton of Baltimore's got a brand new ownership group. I think that they're going to throw a ton of money at like Corbin Burns. Especially, it's like if you saw what you just gave up, like you gave up Joey Ortiz for him and what he did, like he's not going to be rookie of the year by any means, but like he's a really good, just everyday starter right now. I don't know if it's a fluke season or what with him, because he was supposed to be a low batting average, low contact guy, and now he's crazy good too. So I don't know, maybe Baltimore does right by their fans and goes, well, we gave up a ton of stuff, so now it's time to spend some money with this new ownership group.
Speaking of the Cubs and Craig Counsell, the last time we talked, I said that I was still holding out hope they could pull off the playoff thing. They're not pulling off the playoff thing. They're not going to the playoffs. So one of the 5 years of the Craig Counsell contract come and gone. No playoffs.
Yikes. It's $8 million.
I really, honestly, dude, I was really happy with Craig Counsell as a Cubs fan this year. I know you don't care about that, and I know you're busy taking your victory lap, and that's fine, and I understand, and you should. But I was really pleased with Craig Counsell as the Cubs manager in his first year, and I'm not all that broken up about the season that the Cubs had. They're going to end up with like, I don't know, 87, 88 wins. They're going to miss the playoffs. But they found a bunch of players that can be the foundation for some good years up ahead. Like I said, I really liked what I saw from Craig Counsell. I'm not that disheartened by this. Like, and I've told you before, like the whole Craig Counsell feud or whatever, or hard feelings, that's between you as a Brewers fan and Craig Counsell. For me, it's just, is he a good manager, and is he a better manager than the guy that they fired him for? And the answer to me is still yes. Like, and I'm not looking at the Brewers as some sort of comparison or trying to get the best of the Brewers and the Craig Counsell versus the Brewers feud. I just give a fuck about the manager of my baseball team. That's all that matters.
Yeah. I mean, I think I would hope that the Craig Counsell thing dies down a little bit with a majority of Brewers fans next year. There are some people who are just never going to let it go. It was fun for this year to like hate on them, and but like I kind of don't care now. Like actually have my team to also just be happy about instead of bitching about Craig.
Yeah, that makes it a lot easier, but it'll always be there. I mean, for Brewers fans, it'll always be there.
But also, it's like you went to the Cubs still. Like, it's like I'm not gonna be like, hey, welcome back, Craig. Like,
no, not for a while. I think it'll happen eventually, but not for a while.
Like, sit down. Like, we can't legally stop him from coming to Bucks games in the off season. We can strongly encourage him to not. I
like how Bart and other people were mad or surprised that he would still do that. Dude, he said when he left, like, he's still going to be a part of the community. He's still Craig Counsell from, where is he from? What's the town? Whitefish Bay. Like, he still has a house there. He still goes home when they have off days. Like, it's like,
dude, that's still like showing up to like your ex's house for Christmas. Like, stop it. Like, go away. You're weird. You're being weird.
It's not showing up at her house. It's like showing up at the friend you met through her, like their Christmas party. You know what I mean? That's what it's like. And honestly, if that's a friend, that's a friend. Like, I'm not going to stop being friends because I met them through you. That's my friend. They invited me to the party, and I'm going to show up.
The hell kind of breakups are you having?
I'm just saying. Your analogy was off. I had to tweak it.
No,
and I don't think in that analogy, I don't think he's in the wrong. Go to all the Bucks games you want, Craig Counsell.
It was a flawless victory on my part.
I don't think you should stop going to Bucks games. I think that's fair play. I think that's fair territory for Craig Counsell.
No. No, it's like he's allowed to come. He's fine. You're allowed. Go sit there. But then the Bucks got to not put the camera on him. Let him be part of the community, Craig. Be part of the club.
He's right behind the bench. The camera's gonna be on him.
It doesn't happen.
He's right there. He's right behind what's her face.
Well, that's not a good. Disrespectful to women.
That's not what I meant. I just couldn't think of her name. Damn it. The play-by-play announcer.
Oh, Lisa Byington?
Yes. I've interviewed her. Fine. She's a fine person and a great play-by-play announcer.
Yeah.
I just couldn't think of her name. Yeah. He's sitting right behind her. Like,
we'll keep him.
You could be making goofy faces behind Marcus Johnson while they're doing their breakdowns in between quarters.
Do that to Marcus Johnson. I'm sorry, no. You do that to him.
I'm just saying, dude.
He's
still a Bucks fan. He's still a Wisconsin guy.
I know Bucks fans I don't like. I'm probably a Bucks fan most people don't like.
The Brewers fan, by the way, the Brewers, they could have. Most people know this if they're watching us right now. They could have clinched tonight. They did not. They needed a win and a Cubs loss. The Cubs lost. They did their part to the fucking A's of all teams. The Cubs lost, but the Brewers, they could not pull it out. So magic number now 1. You're gonna have to wait one more day.
At least it's not like the Angels who lost to the White Sox last night.
Ugh.
I know. I got that notification.
You see, and I'll probably read it because he's really good. But Jeff Passan spent 24 hours with the White Sox to see like how they're handling losing like this, like it's people, like it's like a people profile. It's like to see how these dudes.
Is that like going into like a haunted asylum and spending like the.
It is
what kind of season I uncover.
No, he went to see like how they're. Like literally how they're coping as people. Like how are they handling the worst season in the history of Major League Baseball? Which honestly I think is a good idea for a piece, like for a sports piece. Yeah, I think I'll check it out. But that's some brave reporting right there. That's going to the scene of the crime. I would
have just jokingly, like, just to try to make some light of it, like around like the craft services thing or whatever, like with their team meal, they got like their things of like fruit and all that stuff. I would have just put like a can of just like rat poison next to it and just you ready?
All right. Like you said, it is football season. That's probably what most people want to hear about is the footballs. And both of our teams are 1-1. The Packers, though, I mean, dude, I gotta say, they lost week 1. I'm impressed with what I saw week 2. Not from Malik Willis individually. He didn't do anything that made me go, oh wow. But man, if anybody out there, Part Winkler, had any questions about Matt LaFleur as a head coach and an offensive play caller, you saw what he does on display during that game on Sunday, dude. What he does is he asks his quarterback to do the things they're good at, to not do the things they're not good at, and puts them in position to succeed, dude. That's what a good offensive play caller does, and Matt LaFleur does that as well as anybody, and that's why that offense looks functional, even if you have a Malik Willis running it. Man, he's a really good offensive coach and an offensive play caller and a really good head coach.
Yeah, I saw a lot of people saying that they thought the Colts were going to win like 28-14 or something on us, and I was like, yeah. I mean, I was like, when Jordan Love went down with the injury, I was like, oh, we could really start the season like 0-6, 0-7. But because I wasn't really believing too much in Malik Willis. Like, I was kind of excited for Jordan Love. I was ready to go on NFLshop.com and get my jersey. I was all fired up, and then he got hurt in that fucking soccer pitch. Just another reason to hate soccer, by the way, because we didn't do a podcast for that. Just they got what the hell was that?
Dude, that was, and by the way, I've seen the field at Soldier Field. I know how bad it is. That's the worst field I've ever seen an NFL game played on in week 1.
I was doing a show down in Janesville, and I was watching it on my phone. So like I didn't have like my TV and everything to like watch it on like a bigger screen. But like I was watching it on my phone. And I'm like, is that field like fucked up? Like, is that like a bad field? And it was like, yeah, like seeing everyone like popping on Twitter, just like this field sucks.
Yeah, pieces of the field were flying up. Pieces of the field were literally flying up in the air when guys would dig their feet in.
I mean, like I saw like in like the first quarter, guys slipping, and it's like just one of those things where you're like, God, like nobody on my team gets hurt, and then the worst person to get hurt got hurt. I was like, Jesus.
Yeah.
Now, I don't necessarily blame the field for what happened to Jordan Love, but like those injuries could have happened to anybody. If it would have happened to Jalen Hurts, that would still suck. Like it would just. Mm-hmm. I know it's not my team, but like. Dude, those are two potential like deep playoff run teams. You put them in goddamn Brazil, and then what? Like they didn't get like eaten by a pack of wild dogs or stabbed by teenagers, but holy shit, dude, like that was.
I'm a Bears fan, and I don't want to see Jordan Love get hurt. Like just on a human level, you know what I mean? I don't want to see people who don't deserve it getting hurt, but B, like from a competition standpoint. I want the Bears to beat the Packers and to beat them at full strength, to beat the best that the Packers.
Well, yeah. If you
got
like
both.
Head
to head and in the standings. I don't want to win like that. I don't want. Computer just froze. Oh, there we go. We're back.
Yeah, you were lagging. No, I mean that's back. You imagine like
where are we?
What? But like, could you like imagine beating a team and then celebrate beat a team when their best player?
I think we're
like that's not
back with me right now, or if he's actually frozen.
Yeah, you're over the place. It's really weird. But I mean, I can just keep talking if it's working. But what I was just saying is that like
just keep talking.
Yeah, nobody should ever feel good about winning like a series of games. If like another team's best player was hurt and, or maybe their second best player got hurt and their third best player was also hurt, like you should never feel good about that. And you should never skip and you should never change your accent, Tyrese Halliburton, no matter what you do. And also, why were you the only one smiling during all those picks? Like
he doesn't change his accent. He literally changes his voice. Like it's two different people's voices, and I don't think he does it intentionally. I honestly don't think he does it intentionally. Because it's hard to do intentionally.
Did you? You probably never saw this, but like You know, like when people like what it's called, like code changing or whatever, where it's like you speak differently around different like people and stuff.
Yes.
And did you
Yeah.
ever see
Code
political
switch,
commentator Vosh? Like Vosh talks like this all the time, and he was talking to Brianna Joy Gray or whatever. He was talking to her, and like he was like, now what I said is like, he turned into like a Southern plantation owner. It was crazy. You're like, you've never talked like that in your life. Now that's just what I think. And it's like, Vosh, you've never talked like this. Like, I watched all these idiot YouTubers, and that was crazy. It's really funny. I'll try to find it and send it to you. It's like 15 seconds long, but like he goes an entire
Please
interview.
Yeah, don't send me long clips. You'll be sending me some long clips, dude. And I'm not. I can't. Find me. I like it has to be a minute 10 or less, or I'm not watching it. Yeah.
Tipples.
I got 70. I got 70 seconds.
The injury thing though is like, yeah, like I especially don't want players getting hurt on dumb shit. Like if you get hurt in like a football play, that's one thing. I don't even really care about a guy getting hurt and just shit that happens like a helmet to helmet. Like I know it's messed up and it can really like end their careers. I'm not upset when those kind of things happen, but like when it's just like the NFL just go play a game in Brazil and the turf is shit and like you didn't vet any of that and you throw 2 playoff bound teams there. That's dude, come on. And then the Eagles blew that game. That's hilarious.
Dude, that was sad. That was bad last night.
That was.
Are you talking about last night or the first week? Yeah, that was really bad.
No,
Saquon needs to catch that ball. Okay.
I forgot what day it was. I've been working every day. I haven't taken days off, and I forgot that Monday was yesterday.
I don't I don't have like a regular work schedule, so I never know what day it is. Like it's not like I have Saturday and I don't have like a weekend or regular days off any week, any day, any week. So I just don't know what day of the week it is. The only day I know what day of the week it says NFL Sunday.
And I didn't go to Natty Oaks tonight, so I didn't like for burger night. So
you didn't even know it was Tuesday. Yeah. Yeah, I see what you're saying. You know who's gonna be hurt if they don't change something soon? It's Caleb Williams, dude. That offensive line is fucking terrible. And I wanted to have patience this season, Drew. And hey,
you're already doing it? You're already doing the thing.
Well, I mean, there's nothing to do because I wanted him to fire Eberflus before the season, before they even drafted Caleb Williams. So it's not like I'm jumping to some overreaction or something. That I don't think he's the coach, but beyond that, the offensive line, and I voiced that as a concern coming into the season. So again, it's not like I'm panicking after 2 weeks. It's looked worse than I thought it would. I will say that, but dude, that offensive line is really, really bad, and I haven't been impressed by their new offensive coordinator Shane Waldron. What I've seen in the first 2 weeks. It's hard to call a good offense when you don't have, 2 seconds for your quarterback to set up and throw the fucking football. But they're doing the same thing that I've seen them do to quarterback after quarterback after quarterback, which is while they did do something about the skill position players, getting Keenan Allen and getting DeAndre Swift and drafting Roman Dunze and getting DJ Moore and blah, blah, blah. Like he needs time to throw the football. Any quarterback needs time to throw the football. They're stunting his growth right now. Like we're only 2 games into it, but those are 2 games where he could be getting better in the NFL. And instead he's just trying to survive. He's just running for his life. And this is exactly what I feared when they drafted him. I think he has every bit the potential and talent that people said he did when he came into the league, but that won't matter if he's not handled right by the franchise that drafted him, in this case, the Bears.
Yeah, I mean that's a big thing, is having an offensive line to protect the guy that throws the ball.
Yeah,
like, I've said that like sometimes if there's not a good quarterback, in the draft, maybe making just the quieter move of like getting guys that are like good on the offensive line, or like signing guys that are like on the offensive line to protect just some dude from getting killed for when you actually do get a quarterback. But Also, this is where I went back. I know there's a little bit of trolling from the Bears fans about, coming into the season, like, oh, we've never seen a quarterback do shit that Caleb Williams is doing. It's like he was doing it against third stringers. Like, he's gonna also have to figure out how to scramble and throw the ball against NFL defenses that are starting defenses.
Sure.
Starting secondaries. Like, you got to figure it out. Like, that's why I wasn't sitting here coming into the season saying that I thought that Jordan Love was going to win MVP and that the Packers were Super Bowl bound. I said probably could win the division. Probably going to be an issue with the Lions. Like, that's going to be it. But the Lions lost embarrassingly, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did.
So it's like, whatever. It's like, so no one came out of the blocks fucking firing. So that's okay. Like,
the Vikings are 2-0. The team that everybody thought would be the team sitting in the basement of this division. They're the only undefeated team in the division right now.
Yeah, give that a week. They'll be fine.
I don't know, man. Kevin O'Connell is a really good coach, and that defense is really good.
They're gonna figure out a way to lose 2 games in one day. They'll figure it out. They're bad. I don't whatever.
Sam Darnold looks at least serviceable. I wouldn't count out the Vikings.
I will.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. You have every right to. I will not try to stop you from counting out the Vikings.
They gotta prove to me that they're not just completely inept. They
do find a way to fuck it up every time. And as I wear my Score North shirt from my days in Minneapolis, where their main source of income and business and ratings is the Minnesota Vikings, I learned they're the ones who taught me that they will find a way to fuck it up eventually. But that doesn't mean that they can't have a really good regular season and be in the mix for the NFC North. I think they could.
Yeah, that's probably fair.
They will find a way to fuck it up in December or January, though, when they get to the playoffs.
I'm paying too much attention to. Like, I don't really care.
Okay, fair enough. I won't fight you on that. Drew, it'll be a minute before we talk again because I'm leaving the country for the first time in a few days. I'm going to the Dominican Republic, my friend, for a week.
Oh, tell them that you're Canadian. They don't like Americans.
By the way, I'm going to have a house sitter, and my dog will be here in case anybody's watching this and gets any ideas. All right, there will be somebody here with my dog, 60-pound pit bull. All right, don't get any ideas.
Well,
right.
Who's house?
I don't want to say. Just don't worry about it. Just know that there will be somebody here, and there will be a dog who could rip your face off. All right.
It's Elijah, isn't it?
No. No, it's not.
You laughed.
Don't worry. No, because he has before. He has done it before. And Elijah's no offense to Elijah, he's not the most threatening guy in the world. He's a very nice and gentle person, and I love him.
You could beat the shit out of Elijah. Anybody listening, all the Sigma Chads listening to this podcast could absolutely run through Elijah.
But anyways, yeah. So
kill your dog.
I'm leaving the country for the first time. I'm going to the Dominican Republic. Drew, have you ever left America? Have you ever? Because I'm a little nervous. I've
been to the Dominican Republic and Jamaica and Mexico.
Really?
Yeah, I'm worldly.
You're a jet setter, well-traveled man, huh?
I'm worldly.
You are. You're a worldly fellow. You're a worldly fellow.
The DR is fine.
Okay.
Of all the places that I've been, it's my least favorite of the places. The food just wasn't as good as Jamaica. Like, that's top tier. But
yeah, I don't know a lot about Dominican food, which is honestly the number one reason I travel is for food. But I'm sure I'll find some good stuff that I like there. I did find a bar where I can watch the NFL on Sunday. Well, my girlfriend found a bar where I can watch the NFL on Sunday.
They can do that stuff. Like,
yeah.
When are you leaving?
I don't want to give away all the details in the next few days.
The next few. So what? We're not going to do one if the Brewers clinch. Oh wait, no, I got to go summon volleyball tomorrow. Right.
Yeah, you got a big volleyball match.
Yeah. No,
they're called matches, right?
I don't know. It's a fucking bar thing.
Any advice for international travel? Being the worldly man that you are.
Public. If anybody asks, tell them you're Canadian. They seriously don't like Americans. They're not a fan.
Fair enough. You know what? A lot of the time, I feel the same way. So I get it. I get it, and that includes myself. That includes myself.
Yeah, I'm still pretty much on the whole America kick right now because of the Olympics. Like, I'm still pretty pumped about.
You're still riding that patriotic wave. Cool.
I'm still riding that patriotic wave of just Steph Curry just raining threes on stupid France.
Right on.
It was
right
the
on.
it was the second most brutal air raid that France has endured in history. The Germans did it the first time.
I got it. Yeah, I got it. You didn't have to explain the.
Oh, what was that? What match? What match do they have to? What football game is going to be played in Germany? Because that was the fun thing that I saw somebody post on the internet. Where it was like Jaguars against Patriots or something like that. It's like two like terrible teams or something.
Yeah, and somebody said, "What did we do to deserve this?" somebody else said, "I think you know."
That was like the greatest comment, but like the internet's done. Like we won, we finished it.
I wish it was. I wish the internet was done sometimes. I'm just kidding. It's pretty great. How else could you watch, listen, subscribe, rate, review, and tell a friend about the Ramie and Drew show on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple? Please do that. Drew, do you have any final words, anything to add before we wrap up episode 66 of this fine podcast?
Yeah, I can't.
Anything about the new assassination attempt or Shannon Sharp sex tape or
Oh, Shannon Sharp's sex tape was so funny. And the fact that he didn't get fired, Paul Pierce did, that's funny. Dude. he went live.
You can't go live by accident. I know this has been covered ad nauseum by other people. Dude, you literally, I saw Cameron on the It Is What It Is podcast, like literally do it, like just to show how hard it is. You have to unlock your phone. You have to open Instagram. You have to click post. You have to click go live. And then it asks you, are you sure you want to go live? It's 5 steps to go live. You don't just set down your phone and go live and catch yourself getting freaky. It's impossible.
Hell yeah, dude. That's just, I was gonna say that's like a big dick move, but like that's so funny. That was a good one. Yeah, whatever. There was another assassination attempt, I guess.
I was kidding. We don't have to talk about that.
No, I mean that's that's the thing that people want to obviously know.
Yeah.
The pressing matter is, honestly, the next time that either candidate talks, I want them to tell me how to turn off progressive fatigue in NBA 2K25 because I can't seem to find it on any of the settings. Because I don't play this fucking game to rest my best players 4 games into the season.
What is progressive fatigue? Is that when you get sick of the woke agenda?
Yes. I'm tired of my players deciding that they're going to take off for causes. This month it's lupus. No, but it's so like there's fatigue, there's in-game fatigue, and then there's like progressive fatigue is like if you keep playing your guys heavy minutes, they'll get tired and you'll eventually just have to sit them. But you don't need progressive fatigue on if you turn injuries off because I don't play with injuries in these games. That's annoying. I don't play NBA 2K, so Giannis can blow his knee out the first game of the fucking season just for me to have to play Marjan Beauchamp at the 4. I'm not doing that.
Yeah, I never played. I don't play video games anymore, but when I did, and I'd be playing a season like that, I wouldn't turn injuries off, but I might as well have because whenever like my best player, whether it was Madden or 2K or whatever sport it was, if my best player got hurt, well, not in baseball. In baseball, I would just grind through it. I would just play the season. But if it was basketball or football, I would just start a new season. I was like, I'm not playing a whole season without, Bo Jackson or whoever the fuck it was. I would just start a new season.
And yeah, it's like, so like I keep fatigue in game on because I don't want to play with my 5 starters the whole game because you can do that, which is annoying and dumb. And when people do that, like, that's not fun. Because, like, yeah, I like to have, like, that little ebb and flow of a game where it's like, oh, shit, DeLon Wright's got to come in now and play 6 minutes. Like, it's like, where'd all my points go? Oh, yeah, Damian Lillard's on the bench now. Like, there's, like, stuff like that where, like, I like being able to do that. I like subbing in players and stuff and then, like, mixing and matching lineups and everything. And, like, I like doing, like, those kind of things. trade logic is on, so it's like you have to actually make trades that make sense. You can't just go and force Steph Curry onto the Bucks for Pat Connaughton. I play with enough of those things, but like progressive fatigue, when you turn it off, everybody comes into the next game 100% like ready to go. And I also have team chemistry on, so like if you got guys that aren't getting
it doesn't
minutes,
sound like fun. This progressive fatigue thing doesn't sound like fun. I'd be out on it too.
No, it's annoying. I want to turn it off.
And that should be the number one issue in the presidential election is to get that out of NBA 2K.
Yeah, I mean the first thing is that
no more progressive fatigue.
Whichever candidate, the one that'll get my vote is the one that comes out and says they're going to keep the NBA on TNT. Like that's inside the NBA needs to continue to exist.
Agreed.
Number two, we could probably force Terry Bradshaw to retire or run for president because his brain is mush. And then the next one would be progressive fatigue just needs to go away in any sports game. I'll go any sports game. I don't know if MLB.
We're on the same page. We both believe in the same. We both believe in the same agenda and platform, Drew. I think that's a great place to end this podcast.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'm going to find progressive fatigue. I'm going to look it up on the internet.
Go do that. Google it, and then go over to YouTube, Spotify, and Apple. Like, rate, subscribe, rate, review the Ramie and Drew show. This has been episode 66. I will don't know when, because like I said, I'm gonna be gone. People will be in my house, so will my dog. Don't try anything stupid. I will be gone for a minute, but we will be back with episode 67. Till then, I'm Ramie Makloff. That's Drew Flaggy. This is the Ramie and Drew show.